Hey folks, it's Ridgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. I am just going to run over and empty out this combine once more using the trailer, and then we will park the trailer on the side of the field, and then this tractor will be able to be used for doing the raking. So we'll just spin you round now and then go up beside the combine and finish emptying out this combine. Really struggling to actually pull the trailer now with the weight that we've got in it. But that's fine. Actually, you know what I need to do now? I need to move you on a bit. Like that. And then I've got to get that combine. I need to go to the combine. And I need to stop you a second, because what I want to do is I want to just grab that. We don't want to leave this bit behind. So let me harvest that little tiny bit there. Then we can turn round, bring you on round this way, and then I should be able to go into the end of the crop right here. It should, in theory, go on and finish the rest of this field without any trouble. At least this is what I'm hoping. So we will press H and let you get in there and get started. Fantastic. And then we can get this one struggling on round. It does struggle a bit, but I mean, he's not too bad. Let's be honest, he doesn't do too bad a job, does he? But yes, I do agree. Like I said yesterday, it is a bit of a struggle for this tractor to pull this trailer, but needs must, and at the moment our bigger tractor is occupied elsewhere. Plus, we don't have the money at the moment to go and buy another tractor instead of this one. I mean, technically we do have the money, but if I go and spend the money on that, then I don't have the money to go and buy the cows that we want to buy. And we've already heavily invested on this farm in infrastructure and so on for cows. So we definitely want to make sure the cows are able to turn up here sometime soon. So let's just grab the last little bit out of that combine. There we go. He can turn around and carry on doing what he's going to do. We're going to bring this one down here. I'm going to actually empty it out this time. And then I can go and get the tractor and the bigger tractor, the case tractor. Bring you down here like this, very, very carefully, as we're going down a steep hill with this really heavy trailer. Fortunately, it does have trailer brakes. That does make a bit of a difference to it. So we want to tip you out there. 26,000 litres of corn being added to the pile, and then we're going to come up here and we're going to use this one, and we're just going to quickly finish off the mowing up here. So I want to go like that, I want to go like that, and then I want to lower them both down like that. And I can finish doing the little tiny bit of mowing that we've got left up here. There isn't any more anywhere. Actually, I think there was one little bit, like, way up across the field. Like halfway across the field, all the way down there somewhere. So we could go and get that bit as well. We've got these few little patches over here that we can go through. So I'll just bring that one down there and miss a great big chunk of the grass as we go past it. But that's not going to cause any major hardships. And then we come on through here. Like that. Get that little bit right there. And now we can move back on around. I should pick these mowers up, really. If we're going to do this properly, let's pick these mowers up. And then we can drop the front one down to get that bit. I'll keep the front one down at the moment. And I'm going to need the back one as well. Going to lower? Yes, it is. Oh, I thought I was going to need the back one. It may have sort of used it. It may not have done. Sometimes it leaves a little bit of grass even though you can't visually see it. There is a tiny little bit left behind. I don't think that is the case, but it might be. You know, I can switch this over to miles an hour. I normally, if I'm still in the middle of recording my time-lapse during the week, I don't switch it over. I leave it on kilometers rather than on miles, just because then just in case I forget to change it back when I go back to recording more time-lapse, then, you know, it's looking all right then. But I've finished recording my time-lapse for the week, so we're all good on that front. I've got one little bit of grass just there that I want to get. Don't know how it managed to miss one tiny little bit like that. That sort of doesn't... Oh, I suppose if it was coming from the other way. I don't really want to be mowing this, do I? Because I've already gone and turned this hay. So I shouldn't really be mowing this at all. Oh well, it's done now. I've already gone and done it now. We will now take these back to the yard. What I'm going to do, I think, is not take them all the way back to the yard. I'm just going to bring them down to here, and I'm going to stop a second. And we're going to jump back up to this tractor. We are going to carry on with our electric tractor for a minute, and we're going to do another pass along the edge of the field. We will then come back to this one, and this one can start doing some other work. What other work? We'll do another pass around the field with this one, and then this one can go back to doing the hired help work and keep just doing the turning. And in the meantime, what we will do is we'll go and get our rake, and we will rake our 2 passes around the outside edge of the field. And then when we've done that, we can set the rake... Actually, we won't set the rake going with a hired help just then. What we will do is we'll go and get the baler, and we will bale up the outside rounds. And then after I've done the outside rounds... You know, I suppose we could just have the rake doing hired help work, even with the outside round still on the ground, because it will sort of be alright, and we can go around and sort of tidy up those bits with the baler anyway. And we just get started with the baler. We'll be able to actually start moving around the field with the baler and getting that work underway, which would be good. It would be nice if we could actually get that done. This bit up here, I was thinking of just leaving 2 passes, but I don't think I will, actually. I think we will do 3 passes across all of it. It's anywhere that we have to go uphill that does slow this tractor down quite considerably. It is definitely not designed for hill work. At least not this particular... I think basically what we've got is we've got a really old IMT here, which is almost identical in every way to a Massey 35. It is really old, it's really worn out. Now, ordinarily, when it comes off the production line, it would be 35 horsepower, but when a tractor gets really old, the engine has deteriorated a long way. You know, it's lost a lot of horsepower. It does lose horsepower. As the engine deteriorates and, you know, the bits sort of lose condition, you haven't got a 35 horsepower tractor anymore. You've got something that's a lot smaller. So we could very well be driving around on a 15 horsepower tractor, which would explain why it has so much difficulty getting up and down the hills whenever it's trying to do anything. I mean, it has enough trouble getting up and down the hills under its own weight, but when we try and do anything with it, it really struggles then. It really doesn't like it. And that could be why. That is like a valid reason for it really struggling like it does. Now I want to pick this one up like this, and I want to head down over here. I'm actually going to go over to this corner of it, over this side, and I'm going to start turning from here, like this, so that I'm still going downhill when I hit this little bit. So I just want to finish out this little tiny patch that I've got here. And then once we've done that, we'll go back up to the top and we'll do one more pass along the top headland. And that will be 3 times around the entire field. And by doing that, we've then got the ability to go right round the entire field twice with our rake on the Deutz tractor. And as soon as that is done, the Deutz tractor can carry on doing raking, which is the plan anyway, and rake up the rest of the field while we go and get started doing a bit of baling. Now, the only downside to it, the only reason that I wasn't going to get started on baling straight away whilst I've got the hired help running with the rake, is the bales that get left behind, they can get sort of hung up on the tractor, can't they? So we will have to keep an eye out for that. Might be that it is better if we just bale up the outside rounds first, gather up those bales, and then once we've done that, then go back and get the hired help doing the raking. I mean, we could always do the outside rounds with the Deutz tractor down there, then go along and start doing the raking. Bale up the outside rounds. While we're baling the outside rounds, the Deutz tractor can have the plough hitched in, and it can start ploughing the field down the bottom, because that one's got to be ploughed before we do our next crop, because it's had corn in it, and you've got to plough after you've done corn because of the because like the soil compaction and stuff. So that's one of the crops that you've actually got to plough after you've finished doing. Now, we don't need to start doing this raking, the tedding from this corner. So we will bring this rake. This is not a rake, Frith. Come on, get with the program. This is a tedder. This is a turner. We'll bring the turner up over this way. We'll take it right up to the top. Up over the brow of the hill right here. See, he really does struggle to get anywhere that's got anything resembling a hill, this poor thing does. Now, I think it might be an idea if we run... You know what? I don't think we need to. I was thinking we could run down and go and get the combine unloaded, but I don't think we really need to worry about that. I can set this one going again. We can do our final pass along the top headland, and that is enough hay done then that we can easily get 2 passes right the way round the field using the rake. That was my one concern. Ever such a slight concern, not a major concern, was that I wouldn't have enough space to be able to do 2 passes, but we should have with this. Now, I noticed that I had a slight laggy glitch just then. That would be because the combine has reached a difficult bit. It's like, yeah, see, it's trying to calculate where it's supposed to go, and it's turned itself round in a circle a couple of times, I reckon, and now it's decided it's finished. So I will finish this bit up first so that this one can go on with doing the hired help work again, because it's still got quite a bit of that to do. And then once that is done, the only problem is if this one is going and I do the raking around the outside edge of the field at the same time, this is going to go and mess up my neat and tidy raked lines. I didn't think of that, did I? We may have to stop this one momentarily while we're doing some of our outside rounds. Just for a little while. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how far out he's going to want to go when he's doing his when he's turning around on the headlands. Well, we'll see. We'll see in a minute. Let's just get this one down there, and then we can start it, and then we can worry about getting a rake. I mean, we might be alright if we're doing the very outside round. That might not interfere with anything. It might just be that it needs just to come in ever so slightly from that. So I can bring you in over this way like this, and then just sort of tuck you up like that. There, and I'll press H now. Right, he is away. He's going to do a wonderful job, and there is no reason that there's no reason that we need to fire this lady. She is doing a wonderful job already, and I cannot see that there would be a reason to have to fire her. At least not at the moment. I'm sure that, you know, if she really puts her mind to it, that's why we've run out of stuff that it's saying that we can combine, because it's got this little tiny patch. It doesn't like little tiny patches like that. It gets confused with the little tiny patches. So we will just quickly take out the rest of this little tiny patch. And then I've got an idea for what we will do for the rest. We won't do circles for the rest of the field. We will just work up and down on one side of it there. It doesn't need much. It should be fairly simple to do the working up and down on the sides of it. And then I can come over here. And I can take in this bit right here. Just wondering if... No, I won't do that bit as the working up and down bit. What I'll do is I'll just come out and leave that bit tidied like that. And then bring you along this way. And then I'll start it working down that side. But I'll just have it working up and down the field now, rather than doing long runs. I think it'll just make it a little bit easier. It'll make it a little bit quicker just to finish off this last little bit. So we do Control H to go into here, and then we do up and down like that. And that's all we need to do. And then we can switch over to this one. We'll pull this one out into the field once again, despite me saying time and time again that I'm not going to do that. And we're just going to offload the combine as it's full. We'll drive to the trailer. But that's what we're going to do after this. Once I get down to that combine, if I can get to it before it gets to the end of the row, which I probably can't, we will then start doing that. Oh, I might be able to get there before it gets to the end of the row. We will just leave this trailer in the field and it can start doing that, because I need to get the rake going next. I want to get the rake onto this tractor. Don't you run away from me. Empty out the combine. There. That's what we want to do. We want to empty out this one, and then I can just turn the trailer around and I go and put it in the middle of the side of the field there. At least that's the plan. Right. Our other tractor up there has gone back to the other end. I wanted to watch that. I wanted to see it do the turn. Right. It will actually mess up the rows. That will actually mess up the rows all the way right to the very edge. So even the first row that it does, it's going to mess it up. Oops. I turned the engine off then. I shouldn't have done that. So I will actually have to stop the hay turner from working. At least I'll have to stop the hay turner from working when I get up to near it. But what we can always do is we can start over on this side and do a bit over here. So let's leave you there. I want to keep the hay turner going for as long as possible, because that's the one that's kind of working the slowest. The rake is going to catch up fairly quickly with it. Although I am stopping. I'm only going to do the outside rounds. And then I'm stopping, and then I'm doing the baling for a little while. I don't know. It's difficult to, like, get the exact, precise, spot-on, perfect balance for it all, isn't it? You're probably saying, look, Frith, you're overthinking this. You're completely and utterly overthinking this. You don't need to get concerned like you are. You just need to get on and do the work. Right? So stop overthinking it. Well, yeah, that's probably some good advice. I should probably stop overthinking it. Let's bring you down this way. And we'll get you straight into the field over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from this side, and I'm going to do 2 passes along the bottom headland here. So that at least I've got the 2 passes along the bottom. So we're going to start going the wrong way on here, which I really don't like. It's difficult for me to judge. Actually, yeah, that should be all right. We should be all right. It's technically it's the right way, and technically it's the wrong way, because that's like the outside edge that I want to work on. But the outside edge should be on the other side. I look out this way when I'm looking out the tractor, so I want to be looking out on this side to see this edge of it, but this is still technically going round the wrong way around the field. At least that's what I would say. I normally would want to go round the other way. It just feels right, right, and line up that side. This is okay. We'll do it this side. Actually, yeah. It's difficult. Like, some jobs you go in and it's very clear which way round you need to go. Like with a mower, with the mower sticking out on one side, there is only one direction that you can travel round the field without driving on the grass. I mean, yes, the outside round you do it backwards, which does kind of throw a spanner in the works just a little bit, but for the most part, that is what you do. So we'll bring you back round and we'll put you this way. So now you're sort of going in the correct direction. The only problem is if I go over there too much, it's going to chuck the stuff behind me and I'm not going to be able to pick it up. And I don't want to do that, so I will leave it out on the road where it is for a minute, and then I will go and gather it up in a little while. This, I want to keep going along the bottom run along here. So we will do 2 passes right the way around the field, but the longer I can leave that hay turner running at the moment, the better, because it means that it's getting more of that grass turned into hay, which is hugely beneficial to us. There, he's gone all the way up to the other end of the field, done another pass. So I can work up and down to the stone over there. I can get up that far now because of where he's reached. And that's what I'm going to go and do now. And then we can always go and bale those bits, and we can... That's going to be that's going to be too much jumping backwards and forwards. If I go off and I bale little bits, and then I come back and I bale other little bits, there's just going to be too much running around. I don't want to do that because, oops, I know what I also don't want to do. I don't want to make a pig's ear of this. We'll bring you back down here like this, and the hay turner has gone and chucked grass quite a long way out into the grass over here. So we do want to gather that bit back up again. There, like that. So I've got that looking fairly neat and tidy. And that's looking a lot better. That's looking much, much better if I can grab all of that. Because remember, we're not on seasons, so the grass doesn't actually get rotted down like it does in seasons. If you miss a bit in seasons, like, there are some really, really annoying aspects of seasons. There are some really annoying aspects of seasons. But one of them that I really like, so there's different bits. Some bits I really love in seasons, and some bits really, really do frustrate me. Right, if this one doesn't go any further, he should only go down to the end here, and then he should turn, and he should just do this short run right here. I'm actually quite happy to leave it doing that just for a minute, and we get that short stuff out of the way, and then I don't have to worry about it. I'm hoping that it won't try and travel all the way across there before it comes back over. I've got... Now, see, it's just going to say he's completed his task. That disappoints me, I must say. I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised, considering the average intelligence of the workforce that we've got, but it still does disappoint me that it decided to go and do that, because now that person had to be fired, and we're on to the next one. So we've got more standby people down the bottom, and we have fired somebody for being lazy, just because, and not doing their job properly. It's fine, it's okay. I can't imagine that we're going to be taken to any massive, great big industrial tribunals or anything like that. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's not for big landowners like us. We're made of money. We can get away with doing anything we want. That's how it works. That's how it works. If you've got the money, you make the... It's in Aladdin. It's in the film Aladdin. If you've heard of the golden rule, haven't you? Those who have the gold make the rules. Yep. Well, that's as true today as it ever was. Even in the time of Aladdin and the genie and Jafar and all the rest of them, it's as true now as it was then. If you've got the gold, you make the rules. And we've got the gold, right? We're now a big landowner. We've come a long way since we turned up here with nothing but a chainsaw. And actually, we didn't even have a chain. Did we have a chainsaw? I think we turned up here with nothing but a chainsaw in our hands. And since those early days, we have risen in the ranks, and we are now one of the landed gentry. We've got plenty of cash, which means that we can make the rules. And one of those rules is, if you stop your work partway through the day and tell me you've finished, that's fine. I agree, you're finished. You are absolutely finished. And don't bother coming back. That's all it is. You know, go for lunch. Just have a really, 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 really long lunch break, because you haven't got anything to come back to, really. I've replaced you with someone that's a little bit more willing, or at least has appeared willing to start with. But ultimately, so many of these people end up disappointing me. They do. They end up letting me down. They tell me they want this work. They tell me they want a job, but none of them ever actually seem to mean it. They don't seem to mean that they want a job. What they seem to all mean is exactly the same thing, is I like the idea of a job. I definitely want to have money from you. I want you to give me money, but I don't actually want to do what I need to do to earn said money. I'd rather just, like, do as little as possible. Now, I let that person come over to the end over here, and then they're going to turn round, and we'll let them drive back up to the other end, and then I'm going to stop them from working. I'm going to tell them to go on their lunch break. For the first time, I'm actually going to stop them and tell them to go on their lunch break. I know I'm as shocked by this development as you are, but I reckon that they will come up there, because they're going to go out past the end now, and it's going to spoil my nice, pretty line I've got there. I don't think that they will actually be able to run the turner right through that bit there. So we might just want to do that in one more pass. So if I bring you over to there, and then I stop you, we need to turn the turner off while we do this bit, and then we can turn it round here. And I'll bring the tractor over like this, and just kind of bring it in tight in there like that, and then start it again just straight from here. Will it go up past the boulder or not? I'm guessing probably not. But that's fine. And we will stop this tractor right here. This is where I'm going to stop it. In the mid. No, it won't be in the middle. I'm gonna have to move it back a little bit. But would you go on a little bit further, or would you just stop there? He's going to go to that point. Now what's he going to do? He is actually trying to travel all the way across there. That's quite interesting. That is interesting to note. It would go and do that later on. That is very interesting to note. So I will bring you down over here. I'll bring you to that point down there. So that you are going to be... Actually, I'm just going to take you on a little bit now, and I'm going to stop you there. You'll be ready to go when we need you to go and do a little bit more. So now I'm going to press H on this one, and I'm going to bring the combine round over to that trailer over there. And we will empty out the combine into the trailer, and then we can go back and we can finish doing the corn. And while that one is unloading, we will go and do a little bit more raking up here. So let's start you up, and... Oops, no, I just want to leave that one going like that. Start you up, and then we'll run you down the hill. Now, am I going to be able to gather the grass that it is kicked out onto the... out onto the road over here? I'm hoping that I can. There's a little tiny bit that got left behind there. But I can get the rest of this. As long as I can get the rest of this, I'm quite happy with it. Because that... one little bit out there. There was one little tiny bit. We'll try and gather that bit up with the baler. But I'm not overly concerned about it. I want to bring this one in over to here and then do my second pass. So this one will go up here. And then with that is ready then for doing the baling. We'll go around and we'll bale all of this. And then the rake should be able to start doing the land work. I've got to do the baling first though. I'll need to go and do the baling first. And then once I've done the baling all the way round, then the rake can go and start working on the land work. I'm going to bring you up here. The combine should be empty. Before I go and set the combine going again, I'll bring you to that point right there. And then I'm going to go over to the stone, and I'm going to do 2 passes around the outside of the stone. Like this, we're nearly out of time for today. So we want to do our 2 passes around here so that the rake and the baler and everything else has got plenty of room to turn when we're doing our land work in here. So there's 1 single pass there. Like that. And then we can move out onto our second pass. And this one is actually just going to go kind of like this. And then bring you out like that. There. That's roughly what we're aiming to do on here. And then it will do the same right in there. And then I go out and I do a second pass around this bit. Bring you down to about there. And then we stop. Right, so that bit there can be baled up. And then I can go over here and we can carry on doing this. I've got just the rest of this bit to go round. And then that's it then for our raking. At least the raking for now. We will have done around the outside edge twice. So then this tractor, as soon as I've got the raking finished, this tractor can then go and get the plow hitched on and start doing the plowing. And then the we'll get the baling underway. I'm not going to worry about doing turning until I have finished doing... I just need to back you up a little bit there. Probably you shouldn't reverse while you got the rake on the ground. It makes a terrible mess of everything. Yeah, this tractor will start doing the ploughing. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to worry too much about headlands and stuff to start with. This tractor does struggle a bit to pull that plough, but it can do it. I know that it can do it, so we'll be able to just let it get started with that job. And then we can get the baling done up here. Then we can run around and we can gather up the few bales that are up here. And then we can get the hay turner going again. And we can get the rake going again as well. We're going to have the hired help working on both of them. And then the baler will be working backwards and forwards on the field at the same time. And then as soon as the rake has finished, we'll then be able to take the tractor and put that one back on the plough. And then we can finish up doing the baling. And then when the baling is finished, we'll then swap the tractors over and we'll have the more powerful tractor on the plough. And this tractor here can then go and gather up all of the bales off of the field, and it's also going to need to do some fertilizer spreading as well. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We've got a lot of things that we need to get done. We've got a lot of planning that we've got to do. We also need to get that bottom field cultivated as well. That's all got to be cultivated out. That's not going to take too long to do, though. That's not a major job. And we can use either tractor as well for doing the cultivating. Both of the tractors work quite well for that job. And all you got to do now is one little bit down to here, and then I can unhitch the rake just temporarily down the bottom, and I will get the plow on and start that one, and then the combine has just got that little bit of grain left over there to finish up with. It's not got very much at all left now. On a little bit more. I also need to buy our cows. Right, we've got the pen, but we will. That's another thing on the to-do list, but we're not going to do it just yet. So let me just fold this one up, and then I can hitch that plow in, get that one underway. I won't worry about putting fertilizer on any of the fields just yet. We'll do that later. We want to get going the plowing. But I have run out of time for today's episode. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. We will actually put the plow in the ground on our next episode. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.